Hello everyone and welcome to North Vancouver Recreation Centre, where today we bring you PeeWee AAA hockey action between the North Vancouver Taylor Motive team and the Richmond Boxmaster. I'm Bruce Shepard along with Tim Dwane. We both of course have a vested interest in this game. I'm the head coach of the North Vancouver team, and Tim's son Matt is actually the captain of the Richmond team. These two teams played earlier on in the season, and it was 2-1 for Richmond in Richmond. And I don't know if you can remember that game, Tim, but it was quite a good hockey game.
The teams are very evenly matched, Bruce, and it should be a good one today.
Well, we're just about all set to go, as the two teams have completed their 5-minute warm-ups. As we take a look at some of the lineups, this is the remainder of the Richmond Boxmaster lineup. And my color man, Tim Dwane, is also the sponsor of the Richmond team. He is the owner of Boxmaster. And what is that company all about?
We're a local company in Richmond. We're also in the United States, but basically for BC, we are manufacturers of corrugated shipping containers in the Lower Mainland.
The North Vancouver team is sponsored by Taylor Motive, which is located on Marine Drive. And both these teams wouldn't be able to operate without their sponsors. As play is underway, Richmond has the puck. Campbell dumps it into the corner, but he's taken off the puck there by the North Van defense. And Tleske tries to start out. Gives it to Mark Stewart to center. Mark dumps it in. Richmond defense was there for it. Mark picks up the loose puck. Tleske takes over. North Vancouver applying some early pressure. Tleske forechecking. Driven off the puck by the Richmond defense. Campbell decides to leave it on the wing, and Stewart picks it up. Comes to Campbell once again. Campbell, headman pass there to Sherwood. Goes off his skate and in deep into North Van territory, where Martin retreats. Martin has the puck in the corner for North Vancouver. Nice lead pass to Graham Smith. At center to Greg Phillips. Guy's taken over the line, offside. Well, your son Matt is the captain of the Richmond team. Who has provided most of your offense thus far?
Actually, would be coming from the offensive lines. We have number 6, Scotty Armstrong. I think is quite a good first-year player. I don't know if you're aware of this, Bruce, but 9 of the Richmond team are first-year PeeWee players. So. They're going to have to work very hard this year to be competitive.
Well, we're in the same boat, actually. We have only 4 players with PeeWee experience, and only 2 of them have PeeWee rep experience. So both of us have a lot of work to do. As North Vancouver has the puck, Greg Phillips at center to Dan Roots, who's off his defensive line to try and dump the puck in. Can't do it, and he retreats. There's the man we were talking about, Roddy Armstrong. He dumps the puck in for Richmond. Greg Moore back there forward for North Vancouver. He tries to get it out, but he's being forechecked well by Plant. Plant centers the puck as Richmond gets a good scoring opportunity, but Genio steers it aside. To center comes Scott Dickson. He's got good speed. He busts it wide, tries to center the puck, but it was cut off nicely by the defender, Ishida. As Dwane gives the puck ahead, Dwane gets the return pass, starts to center. He's knocked off the puck by Dimitri, who gets thumped in the process. Puck picked off by Sherwood. He comes in over the line, makes a good move on the North Vancouver defense, goes right to the net, but it's just poked off the stick by Williams at the last moment. And Williams battles along the end boards with Sherwood. Gets it to Sickavish. He can't get it out. As Kariya back checks on number 8, Gavin Campbell, and finally North Vancouver manages to clear the zone. To center, Scott Dickson. He'll let a long shot go. Steered aside by starting goaltender Caron. In goal for Richmond is Brian Caron, and in goal for the North Vancouver Taylor Motive is David Genio. Sickavish dumps the puck in the zone as Lidner chases in after it to forecheck. Craig can't get it out. Stewart keeps it in. Craig takes him off the puck and starts away. Sean Craig to center. He just dumps it in on the left side. Williams will go in after it for North Vancouver. Just over 3 minutes gone in the first period, no score. Williams trying to get it out, can't do it. Martin will have to retreat once again as North Vancouver having trouble clearing it out of their own zone. It comes on the wing, nobody there. It's dumped back in by McClellan. Right out in front, a good low shot, but Genio kicked his pad out to stop that on Plant's attempt.
Well, so far it's still pretty tight. Both teams had a few chances. Nothing really exceptional yet, though, Bruce.
Well, this game's starting to look like the one we had earlier on in the year when you guys beat us 2-1. Good defensive game, and both these teams are pretty clean hockey teams, too. Graham Smith comes to center on the right side to Stewart. Stewart makes a nice move, but he's taken neatly off the puck by McClellan. Forwards that play, comes back to Martin on the point. His shot is blocked by McClellan once again. The assistant captain limps off the ice after taking a shot in his right leg, and he's favoring that right leg right now as North Vancouver starts out of their own zone. J.J. Martin picking up good speed. He's a great rushing defenseman as he comes to center with the puck. Makes a nice move wide, holds up. Makes a move on the point man. But Morishita kicks away the puck and gives it to his center man, who in turn passes on the wing to Kennedy. Kennedy in over the line. Centering the puck. Broken up by the North Vancouver defense, and they start to center. Phillips to Tleske. Tleske cutting towards the middle. That's a good shot. Goalie scores! Rob Tleske just brought the puck to the center.
That was a bullet.
Good low shot by Tleske as he took the puck into the high slot and let it go and beat Brian Caron low on the glove side.
That was an excellent shot, wasn't it, Bruce?
It certainly was, and it's a real advantage when you got a good shot in the Pee-wee levels, because some of the kids have great shots while others really struggle to get that slap shot.
That's right.
So North Vancouver Taylor Motive takes a 1-0 lead on Richmond Boxmaster as Daniel Plante starts down the left side, sends it towards the goal, and Genio steers it aside. Good rush there by Scotty Sherwood, who tried to pick up the rebound. As Richmond backs up as North Vancouver rushes over the point. That's Greg Maurer rushing a puck on defense. He's stopped there neatly by the captain, Matt Dwane. To center, nice move at the line there by Sherwood. He comes in over, makes a nice move again. He's going to have a good shot, and he does. Genio just got his stick on that one. That one was targeted for the lower left goal. It's dumped back in on a delayed offside, but Richmond gets outside. Demichi will start back, try and set up the breakout for North Vancouver. Sends it on the boards. Maurer couldn't come up with it. He comes up with it there, blocking the dump-in attempt, but it's stolen away by Ishida. He has Armstrong open out front. Ishida, that's Dwane now. Dwane coming around. Back on the right point. Here's a shot blocked by Tleske, and he knocks it outside the line. Tleske and Craig race for the puck. Craig gets there first. Does a good job to stop that rush as Richmond has a good shift and is starting to carry the play. Araguchi dumps the puck in the corner as Richmond makes a line change. Demichi going up the middle with it. A dangerous pass, but Dickson got it out. Couldn't get it outside the line, though. Another slap shot. Good shot there by Matt Dwane. Looks like your son's got a slap shot, too.
Looks like he got something on that one. All right, Bruce.
And he's a bigger kid, like Tleske, the goal scorer for our team. And the bigger kids seem to be able to get a little bit behind the slap shots. It's the smaller ones that really have difficulty.
Yeah, I think that little extra weight and power certainly makes a lot of difference when you're trying to get that puck on the go.
And perhaps in Pee-wee hockey more than any other division, you really have a difference in the skill levels of the players from the first player down to the 15th player. Something you might not see as much of in the bantam and midget level.
Oh, exactly. Just about lost one of our coaches there.
And we should remind you of the coaches. The head coach of Richmond was Ted Nagata, and that was his son Darren, who almost got a puck in the head. Dave Campbell also assists, and Jim Armstrong is the manager. On the North Vancouver side, myself, Bruce Shepard, the play-by-play man is the coach, and the assistant coach is my brother, Kevin Shepard. Jim Ginter is my other assistant, and our manager is John Martin. And the managers really are the unsung heroes of these teams. They're the ones that do all the work. And Mark Stewart carries it in over the blue line, gives it to Kariya on a nice pass, but it's broken up neatly by the Richmond defense. And Sean Craig, who's been a steady force back there, clears it out. Comes on the left side to Campbell. He lets a long slap shot go, as all these guys testing their boomers today. As they battle along the end boards for it. The view is kind of restricted of what's going on in the corner. It looks like Greg Phillips will come to center. That's Ryan Lidner, I'm sorry. It's broken up at center by Richmond as Campbell tries to dump it back in. Williams steals the puck and gives it to Phillips. It's broken up again by the Richmond defense. They're challenging North Vancouver at the top of the circle, but Stewart gets a chance to Kariya right in on goal, and Karan comes out to challenge him and stop that. Stewart another try, and Karan stopped that once again as Kariya and Stewart combine for a good scoring opportunity. Steve Kariya again with the puck to Ryan Lidner. He can't get it outside the line. Lidner has it once again in the corner as North Vancouver forechecks well. Dan Roots comes in, tries to shoot through the gap and does, but just couldn't get the shot away. There's a lot of traffic in front of the Richmond goal. Richmond trying to get it out. They'll try the other side as Matt works. Out comes Ishida. Makes a nice move at the line, carries it in, but it's called on the offside. Some good pressure there by North Vancouver.
Excellent pressure. I thought that Brian Carolan did a good job keeping that puck out of the net there, Bruce.
Well, we've been having a lot of trouble, Tim, with our breakouts. Usually teams that don't have a very, very high skill level usually do have a bit of trouble getting the puck out of their own end. Have you guys, has that been an area you've been struggling?
We are experiencing the same thing, and I think really what it boils down to is, again, so many first-year players not making that transition up to the next level yet, mentally along physically.
And generally the strategies get a little more detailed the further up they come, and they've got a little learning to do as well. As play ragged at center, Tleske, the goal scorer, comes away with the puck, makes a nice inside move there on McClellan. He goes to the net, a shot saved by Karan. Another try, and Karan slides across to save that one as well. And Brian Karan playing very well in goal for Richmond. Tleske tries to slide the puck out in front, but it's broken up, and Captain Matt Dwane starts to center. He's going 1-on-2, but he's going to give it a try anyway. Tries to cut wide, circles back, waiting for some help from his teammates, but he doesn't get it, and Graham Smith takes him off the puck. To Phillips. Greg Phillips pursues on that puck and ends up coming away with it. Tries to take a shot on goal, but it's blocked. And Campbell sends it up the right side to Sherwood. He's got, looks like Blunt going for the net. Can't get to it. Maurer to Smith. He'll just dump it in, and that'll be icing, as he didn't carry the puck over the red line. And we get an icing call with 5:41 to go in the first period. North Vancouver leading 1-0.
Not too many whistles at all, Bruce.
It's been a quick 10 minutes as we take a look at the first period score. That should read Box Master, not Box Masters.
We are that too, though.
You got more than one box. As we get set to go to a face-off to the left.
Seems to be a bat in here. Can you see it?
Oh, I don't.
Can you see it right around the face-off circle? It's now stuck on one of your players. He is going to remove it from his uniform. We've got a bat here. A small bat. Perhaps a souvenir for somebody. Whoops, he got it free again. There he goes. He's up on the banner up there. Well, I think that's all the free advertising we'll give him.
A bat's a little late for Halloween. That's right, he's sitting on one of the...
Or maybe it's a bird. Maybe it's an injured bird. In any case, it's caused a little bit of anxiety out there with the boys.
Well, my captain Garth Prouse plucking it off the jersey and gently taking it over to the bench. As Richmond makes a change. North Vancouver lining up a line of Garth Prouse, Scott Dickson, and Cole Maurer. And Dickson and Prouse are always very dangerous out there. They have excellent speed. This puck comes back and Dan Roots goes to retreat. Very close checking game. Both teams getting good scoring opportunities. Although Brian Karan in the Richmond net has probably been forced to make a few more stops. With 5:16 to go in the first period. And the tearing is almost over with now, Tim. There's only a couple of games to go. I believe Tuesday is the last night. What does it look like your team's going to end up?
I believe we've had some news that it looks like we are going to be Tier 2. It's not official yet, but it seems like after losing, I believe, on Thursday night to West Vancouver, I believe we're in that second tier. I think that's the way it's going to come.
Well, we've got a big game tomorrow night with West Vancouver as well. Be our last game in tiering. But even if we win that game, we might be hard-pressed to get into that first tier as well. So could be meeting you many more times this season. But of course, that doesn't mean you cannot win the entire thing, as you can advance into Tier 1 after Christmas. As they try and cut aside, Sherwood can't get it outside. That's the way I understand it anyway, Tim. You can still win it all. It's just you have to start in that second tier.
I see.
And I believe after Christmas you can move up or move down.
That's when they revalue.
I believe they recalculate it. Because certainly you can't just put a team where you want to after 12 or 13 games, because who knows, we could be much improved by February and could be giving some of those Tier 1 teams a hard time.
Exactly.
A lot of those Fraser Valley teams are on the ice 2, 3, 4 weeks before we are here on the Lower Mainland, because their ice is in a lot earlier. And I know that the North Delta team, who's been the real force in PeeWee AAA thus far, was on the ice in the beginning of August, and we didn't get on until September. So
that makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. Things around Christmas time start to really shake out. You're right. Some teams absolutely move up because their skating skills are improving and they're gelling, and other teams perhaps stay sort of status quo, and then you have to make some changes, I'm sure.
Well, the closer to the city you are, generally the more trouble you have getting ice time. Of course, Richmond and North Vancouver, right on the borders of the big city, and there's more kids and less ice as they try to cut the puck down the right side, but Martin takes him off it. As here's a good opportunity for Richmond as they cut to the net, but they're taken off the puck by some good back checking by Phillips. He can't get it outside as Dwane dumps it back in, and as Richmond tries to apply some pressure. And is this your big line? Your son Matt Dwane, and of course Daniel Plant. Are these guys the ones that's...
Daniel Plant is a very aggressive first-year player, and he is definitely one of the more intense boys on the team. Matt, having played AAA last year for the Richmond team, is fairly accustomed to this level, and he's fairly comfortable with it, and he should be.
As well as Matt, how many others have AAA experience on your team?
Nobody. No. Actually, Matt was the only AAA player last year.
And on North Vancouver, Scott Dickson and Garth Prouse are the only two players with AAA experience. And when you consider that some of the other teams have 12 and 13 players who are back, we have a little tougher time.
That's right.
As Phillips tries to get it outside the line. Can't do it as it's kept in by Richmond. In the last 2 or 3 minutes, Richmond has carried most of the play, although they haven't had many good scoring opportunities. As North Vancouver dumps it in, Phillips. Tleske goes back after it there with Gilfillian. Gilfillian starts out. Ryan, I'm sorry, it's not Ryan, it's Chris Gilfillian. Thought you couldn't get any more Irish than Ryan Gilfillian, but as Graham Smith tries to get it out but can't do it, here's another opportunity for Scotty Sherwood, who's logged a lot of ice time and has had a couple of good scoring opportunities for Richmond. Can't do much with it there, and Tleske just fires it down the ice. North Vancouver will get called on the icing. And Scotty Sherwood's a player for you that stands out a little bit as well.
He is, and once he makes that move mentally from the Adam ranks, which he played in last year, to PeeWee, and moves the puck a little bit quicker, he's going to find he's going to be more effective on give and goes and plays like that. He has a tendency to hang on to it a little bit long and doesn't see the ice quite good enough yet, but he's a very good skater, and he has a good shot. He's going to be a good hockey player.
As Garth Prouse tries to carry it outside the line, he just can't do it. As Richmond continues to apply some good forechecking pressure, there's a shot from the point by Haraguchi. It just goes off the net. It comes back on the left point to McClellan. He tries to go with the other side with it. It's picked off by Graham Smith, who has a breakaway. Graham Smith, and on Karan, he shoots in a good shot, but an even better save as Karan fired that glove up to knock it away. That puck was going in the net, and Karan made a terrific save.
Well, once again, our goaltender's keeping us in it. There's another excellent chance for North Vancouver to make it 2-0, but fortunately he came up very big on that.
Well, as we mentioned, we only have a few returning players from PeeWee AAA last year, so obviously all of our goaltenders haven't had any experience, and it's probably the toughest on them. But I've been pretty happy with my goaltending, and David Genio and Chad Freeman. Has the coaching staff, has Ted Nagata been happy with his goaltending?
I believe he has, and Ted's been alternating them evenly. They're very, very close in ability, and they seem to be getting stronger every game, which is what we're going to need if we're going to be successful.
Dwane dumps the puck back in. It goes off a skate on the offside. I've been pretty happy with my goaltending. David Genio and Chad Freeman actually contrast one another very well. David's small and very quick, good skater, and has played some excellent hockey games for us, whereas Chad's a bigger goaltender and plays the angles a little better and relies more on fundamentals. But both of them have done a good job, and they get a lot of shots when we go to the Fraser Valley, rest assure you of that. As Dickson cranks another one, good shot by Scott Dickson, and Kariya has been hot with that glove hand, steering 2 straight good scoring opportunities aside.
Another close call. Certainly has shifted to North Van, I think, the play now, and
well, as you well know, Tim, in PeeWee hockey, it's sometimes the line combinations. You have about 3 or 4 good players. A lot of the time they play with each other, and
when they're on, the heat's on.
That's exactly it. So unless they're playing against one another, chances are there's going to be
some chances.
There's going to be some chances at both ends. That's right. Ryan Lidner wins a nice clean face-off. Dmichi sends it right to the goal, and Dickson almost deflects it in, and a good execution on the face-off. I'm happy with that. As Lidner goes in after it again, it goes off the skate. One of the Richmond players. I'm getting. It's actually Armstrong. Finally, Richmond gets it out to center. Ashita goes right after the North Vancouver defense. Dwane dumps it back in. Again, it's called on the delayed offside. With just over a minute to go in the first period, North Vancouver 1, Richmond 0. Bruce Shepard along with Tim Dwane. I understand, Tim, you also are involved in lacrosse. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I try to get involved in the Richmond community sports area. So Boxmaster not only sponsors the PeeWee AAA team, we also sponsor the Bantam lacrosse team, rep team, and also I bought the Junior A Outlaws last year. They were about to fold, actually, and I just didn't want that to happen, so I picked them up and almost took it all. Only counts in horseshoes, I guess, though. Being close, that is.
There's a good chance on goal there for Stewart on a nice pass out in front by Phillips, but they couldn't capitalize on that. Phillips will try again, dumping it in. Delayed offside if Richmond can't get it out, but they do. Some good work by Maurer on the boards as it comes back to Gilfillian. He goes up the middle with it. Phillips will pick it off there, tries to go back in with it, but can't, and Richmond comes away. They dump it off the end boards, can't get it out. There's a lot of traffic going on as teams make a change. Referees counting bodies. As things got jammed up on the Richmond bench as the first period comes to an end. Of course, there's no sweep after the periods. These guys will go right back at her in about a minute. As North Vancouver needs 1-0 after 1 period of play. I would say North Vancouver had a few more shots, but for the most part, it was pretty even first period.
I think that a few more quality shots, some real good scoring opportunities, maybe perhaps 4-1 somewhere in there is the way I see it. We have some boys that have also come over from Seafair this year. Our goaltender that's in today, Brian Caron, and a fellow that's not here today, Ryan Belfleur, Scott Morishita, and Mark Ishida have joined the Richmond minor hockey from Seafair to join. Our Roddy Armstrong comes from New West this year. So we've got a few boys from all over, looks like, this year.
Well, that's another disadvantage that the Lower Mainland teams have over the Fraser Valley teams as well is that in Richmond, of course, there's Richmond Minor Hockey and Seafair, and here in North Shore, it's North Van Minor Hockey here at the Rec Center, and also the North Shore Winter Club. So you've got players given choices, whereas in Chilliwack you've got one choice.
Right.
And they draw on a lot more
dilution,
bodies.
I think, occurs when you've got that situation. You're right.
Because we have 3 transfers over from the North Shore Winter Club this year, so a lot of player movement. Fathers looking for the best program for their kids, and that can be good and it can be bad. Puck comes back to the point. Morris can't get it out as here comes Plant. He's done a good job, and he's a powerful skater, and he keeps going to the net with it. And Coach Ted Nagata will be happy to see. As Richmond applying some good pressure, Plant has a chance right out in front, and Graham Smith made a nice play to get it outside of there as he back-checked well on that occasion, but Richmond's coming back for more. Here's a chance right out in front for Campbell, but he just couldn't get his stick on it, and North Vancouver lucky not to get burned on that one. As Prouse comes to center, he'll just dump it in, relieve some of the pressure. As some good pressure by this Richmond forward line. They make a change now, and Kariya comes to center with Smith on his left. Kariya going towards the defense. They back up, and Kariya almost made a nice move. Well, McClellan was there to break it up. They go for a long pass to center. That's Haraguchi. He just couldn't pick it up, but deflects it in the North Vancouver zone, and Brent Williams will try and set things up for North Vancouver. He's being pressured well by Haraguchi, but he does manage to get it to center to Mark Stewart, who's been playing well this game. On the left side to Cole Maurer. Maurer just dumps it into the corner. They'll go in and forecheck after it, and North Vancouver gets a whistle. Now, earlier in the year, Tim, there was a meeting on whether or not body checking should be allowed in PeeWee AA hockey, and in PeeWee hockey, actually. It was unanimously voted against. Do you have any complaints with that, or are you pretty happy with the decision?
Well, having played a fair amount of hockey myself, I feel that in the rep area, I think contact is part of hockey as they get older, and I think they should be learning it as part of the game. So I'm one of the people that disagree with the lack of contact in the rep hockey area. I don't believe it personally should be in the house leagues, but certainly when you've got aggressive, intense players that, as they should be in rep, that's part of the game, and at least it was last time I looked.
Well, I think the main reason that they overrule it is because some of the size differential in some of the players at this level can be quite, as you see right in front of us, as Danielle Plant stands next to Scotty Morishita. There's a huge size difference, but again, you're right, it's the PeeWee AAA level, and these kids got to learn hockey at some point. And it can be a disadvantage to the small players as well, because when they get to the bantam, they're just lost in the woodwork because they've never gotten accustomed to hitting. By the time they get to age 14, the size differential can sometimes even grow, and it makes it even tougher on them. So puck comes on the left side as Richmond comes away 3-on-2. They go towards the net. Morishita's got a good chance, and Genio slide across to make a save. Morishita did what he had to. Put the puck high, but just couldn't get it over Genio as Lidner comes down the right side. He's neatly taken off the puck there. I believe that's McClellan. And Richmond starts away once again. Richmond doing a good job of carrying play in this second period. Down a goal. Send it towards the net. Genio will leave it there for his defense. And it looks like there's a penalty coming up.
Well, it looks like number 16's heading off there, Bruce, for roughing.
That's Ryan Lidner of North Vancouver. And Richmond's going to have a 2-minute power play, the first one of the game, to try and even this game up. As we were talking about hitting just before, there's been a lot of checking from behind this year, and it's almost like even though you make hitting illegal, it still exists anyway. But a lot of that checking from behind is being taught by some of the coaches. A lot of players have been taking dives, I've noticed, and drawing these 5-minute penalties. And when a kid's got to sit out a game for it, it can be pretty frustrating.
That's exactly right, Bruce. Again, there's a situation of a splinter group lobbying, I'm sure, through perhaps an injury to their son. And where a good idea ends up hurting the game. It certainly is a good idea to have people out of the game that are intentionally trying to hurt people, hitting from behind especially. But now you've got players taking dives and players being suspended. And that's not what this rule was put in for. Hopefully they'll be looking at that next year.
Well, we had one player suspended, and I believe it was the 22nd suspension in Pee-wee hockey. So it's getting a little bit ridiculous when you have that many suspensions going on. I mean, I haven't seen very many career-threatening hits in the first 25 games that we've played, and it's just really disappointing to players when they get suspended and have to sit out, especially at this age. But you're right, if they're attempting to injure, it's justified. As Richmond applying some good pressure, there's a long shot at the point. It goes off the face mask of Plante in front of the net. Getting hockey confused with soccer there as he tried to head that one in. As Tleske takes a dive at the blue line, as your son Matt Dwane.
About diving.
There's one right there, and I'll admit it. Now, I haven't taught him that, though, Tim.
You sure?
I'm positive. Okay. He did that on his own.
I'll let you off the hook there. He's very good at it, though.
Well, Matt Dwane, the captain of Richmond, off to the penalty box, which will even things up for 39 seconds anyway, and then North Vancouver will go on a power play. As Rob Tleske gets a 9.5 for that one. And it looked like the referee was delayed calling that one as well. And perhaps he should have just kept that arm down on that call. Martin.
Is this a power play unit you have on?
Most of the time, yes, most of the time. This is J.J. Martin. He's usually out there most of the time, and we sometimes use a forward back on the point as well. However, that's cost us a couple of shorthanded goals, so I've been going back to using 2 defensemen. And I have 2 lines that I use on the power play, and the rest of the kids kill penalties. And right now, this is Garth Prouse making lots of great moves. He's a great little hockey player. He's a captain of the team.
Very good skater.
Excellent skater, one of the best in the league. And when he turns it on, look out as he makes a great move there. Takes a shot.
Whoa.
Good stop by Kariya. He's been hot with that glove hand. As North Vancouver goes on the power play. As this is Scott Dickson, who is a forward, and he's being used on the point right now by Jim Ginter and Kevin Shepard, my assistant coaches, and he comes to center. He's got good speed as well. He's hooked off the play there. And it looks like he's going to go for a whistle. As the referee doesn't, he could have maybe called a penalty there and let that one to your boy go, and that might have been
feeling a little bad about that first one, so he's thought, well, maybe we'll just sort of let this one go.
That's right. 9:39 to go in the second period. North Vancouver leads 1-0. They have 57 seconds to go in their power play opportunity. J.J. Martin and Scott Dickson on the points. Up front, Rob Tleske, Kelly Sickavish, and Steve Kariya. On the forward line, Haraguchi. And I believe that's Plante killing the penalty as a long shot is deflected out front by Tleske, and the good low shot by Martin. Kariya was there to stop that. They try and center it. Kariya jumps on the puck on the side of the net, but can't hang on. They try and go out in front with it. Steve Kariya jamming at it, and Kariya is there to stop that as well.
A lot of action there.
The little guy's doing a heck of a job in goal.
Mike McClellan, the assistant captain, I thought did a fairly decent job there working around the net. Even though they're outnumbered, he was certainly hustling. Again, though, Brian came up big.
Out to kill. The penalty now for Ted Nagata and the Richmond Boxmaster. Oh, there's a shot by Scott Dickson from the right point. And that was targeted left corner of the net the whole way. And a slap shot comes up big once again. And actually, I try and dissuade these guys from taking a lot of slap shots in practice, but maybe I should stop doing that.
Well, you got to know, coming up for the ranks, especially when you're a little younger, nothing feels better than blasting one and seeing it hit the twine like that. It seems to be a lot nicer than seeing it going in along the ice, you know what I mean? Later
That's
on,
right.
you take them any way you can. Off helmets. But right now, a blast from the point, off the ice, got to make them feel good.
As Richmond needs a goal to get back in this one, they try a nice cross-ice pass to Armstrong there. He just couldn't get his stick on it. As I remind you, both teams have made a goaltending change as Garth Prouse comes to center. And over the blue line, he's got good wheels. He's going to keep going to that net. He's being played nicely there by Sean Craig, who sticks on him. Sean Craig still covering Prouse, doing a good job. Prouse evading the check once again, and it looks like the referee's going to call another penalty.
definitely hooking there. Definitely a penalty. There's a situation where Garth, I believe, was just too good, and the only way for Sean to keep him in check, I thought, was with a stick, and of course, we're paying the price for it now.
A little carried away with the stick there, but he was doing some good defensive work, and he stuck with his check and basically doing his job. But Prouse was causing a lot of problems there as well. Remind you of the goaltending change. Chad Freeman in goal now for North Vancouver Taylor Motive. And in goal for the Richmond Boxmaster is another Freeman, Greg Freeman.
Yeah, Greg's very similarly built to Brian. Again, very similar style, same size. He also plays lacrosse. He played lacrosse for me last year. So he's quick. There's no doubt about that.
So 2 Freemans in goal now. And the only reason the coaching staffs are changing it up is because this game is televised. And Roots takes a low shot. Another save by Freeman as North Vancouver whacks at it. And Freeman keeps it out, picking up where Caron left off. Sharp in goal. So North Vancouver has a 2-minute power play. They cough the puck up at center ice as Kennedy comes in over the line. He'll just dump it behind the net, as he had a player out in front open, but decided to just dump it in. Could cost him. Here comes North Vancouver, 2-on-1. Mark Stewart and Garth Prouse. Prouse hangs on, shoots off the goal post as Garth Prouse rung one there. 1 minute and 9 seconds to go in the power play. Oh, cough up by Roots. In clear on goal as Plante takes it wide, and Freeman keeps it out somehow. I don't know if Plante fanned on the shot or Freeman got his pad on it, but it stays out. And some good penalty killing by Richmond. They can't afford to give up another one.
Didn't seem to get good wood on that one there, Bruce. I thought he was being checked at the last moment. Good defensive play, but I think Daniel will learn is that again, coming up from the ranks of Adam, is that when you have an opportunity to shoot, you should shoot it. And he didn't want to do that. He wanted to stick handle it in, and you saw what happened.
You would think 13-year-olds would just love to shoot as much as possible, but you're right. Sometimes you just can't talk them into shooting when they have an opportunity. I've been trying to get them to do that all year. And they like to make that extra move. They want to make the highlight reels. Puck is dumped into the corner. Dimitri going after it. You'd never know it, but North Vancouver's on a power play as the puck goes high. Another try, and Freeman held it out with his glove as Mark Ashita got his stick on that puck in front of the net.
It sure was a close one. Mark just about put that one in.
Good stop by Chad Freeman in goal, and when he's hot, he's hot. He's had a couple of sizzling games for us this year. And we've played a lot of Fraser Valley teams, and believe me, they're getting 45, 50 shots a game, and you know, when they limit it to 4 or 5 goals against, that's pretty good.
That is excellent.
We've only had one real tough game against Burnaby Minor, and I don't know whether you've played them yet, but there's one kid on that team that should be playing Junior A.
There.
And there's been talk here at North Vancouver at times of moving players up the ranks. A player who is extremely good, say at the Adam A level, almost too good, bringing him up to the PeeWee level, giving him that extra year. What do you think of that idea?
To a degree, I think it's good. A lot depends on the child himself. Matt, this is his 3rd year playing PeeWee A, and so he was brought up as an Adam. There's pros and cons. It's hard on their confidence. That's for sure, because
good opportunity for Richmond as North Vancouver coughs it up in their zone once again. And if we've had a problem at any point this year, it's been letting up on defense, and it almost cost us there. As Richmond makes a change, Campbell keeps it in on a Haraguchi tries for it. Dwane keeps it in. As Richmond applying some pressure, they need one to get back in this. Haraguchi's got the puck in the corner. Turns. And the puck is frozen for a whistle on the end boards. With,
like we were saying, is moving an underage player up. It's pros and cons. Sure, he gets better competition, which is obviously what you're trying to do. But on the other hand, you're talking about the mental skills of a boy too, and sometimes it takes a lot of their confidence away when they're playing with those boys that are 2 and 3 years older mentally than them. And at a younger age, that's a significant difference. So I'm not quite sure. Having been involved in it, I'm not quite sure if it's good or bad.
I think if it does occur, it should be a very rare thing, a very rare happening. It shouldn't be because a father wants his kid to develop more. It should be because the kid is just far too good for the level he's playing in. And it doesn't happen very often. There's not many Wayne Gretzkys.
I agree.
Wayne Gretzky was playing PeeWee AAA, and there, that's going to roll over the line.
Looks like, yes, I think Scott Sherwood got his stick on that puck just before it crossed the line. Again, a scramble in front, and how many goals are scored there?
It just slid underneath Freeman. It looked like he had a chance, but he just lost sight of the puck, and it just barely slid over the goal line. And it's now 2-1. And that was the final score the last time these two teams played. And of course, Richmond ended up on top of that in Richmond. And I think of all the games that we've played, that was one of the best and most exciting games of the year. As here comes Richmond, they're going to try and even this thing up. Sherwood, who just got the last goal, stops, takes a shot towards the goal. Campbell was there to deflect it, but it just was too far off target. And Prouse starts out to Maurer, to Stewart, I'm sorry. He goes left side with it to Dickson. He couldn't come away with the puck. Dickson sort of giving up on it, and Sherwood's hustle. Gets to it first, dumps it in the corner. Demichi sends the puck up the middle to Stewart. Good play by Demichi there. Tries to go up the middle with it to Prouse, but he's bumped off the puck by the Richmond defense. As here comes Ishida for Richmond. Tries to carry it in over the line. Stewart stops him there, tries to dump it outside. Can't do it, and Richmond just sends it in. They're forechecking extremely well right now. They try and get back in this game, trailing 2-1. And momentum continues to shift. One team dominates, then the other, as Richmond gets another good opportunity in front of the goal. Armstrong is one of the better scorers for Richmond, battling along the end boards, trying to get it to Ishida. Ishida comes away with it, sends it out in front. Plante wasn't ready for it, and Stewart sends it to Dickson, who's going to try and go wide here. Dwane doing a nice job. No chance for Dickson to get by.
Funny feeling there's going to be another penalty here.
Well, I don't know if I want to announce who that is, but
gosh, I don't know.
Your boy is off to the box again. I don't know what the call was there. I thought he made a great defensive play, not trying to play to your emotions here, anything, Tim, but I thought he made a good play there. He seemed to steer Scott Dickson off the puck rather nicely, and I don't know what he got the call for there.
Again, we got to remember these referees are volunteers, and they're boys that are learning the game and learning how to referee, and
you have to keep things in perspective. You're exactly right.
They are not getting paid for this or been doing it for very long, so they're entitled to make those mistakes.
Well, they do get paid. I'll differ there. $8 for linesmen. I believe the head referee makes $12. So
let's just say they won't get rich.
They won't get rich, no. But you pay out about $28 a game for officials, and it's a good way to make up spare money for these guys. I know I was official when I played minor hockey.
A good leg save by Brian. That wasn't a very hard shot, but it was looked like it was going in the corner.
Another shot, and Greg Freeman again there. Holds that one out.
That one was right on, but I don't know about this. I think we might have another situation here where we're going to be going to the penalty box. Not too many games are won in there.
No. And it looks like two guys think they got it. I don't know about... It looks like it's number 10, Sean Craig, going to the penalty box, as he's going to get a hooking call for hauling down Ryan Lidner in front of the net, and Richmond's going to be 2 men short for 1 minute and 12 seconds. And it looks like newcomer in goal, Greg Freeman's going to have his work cut out for him here, unless Richmond can do a great job penalty killing. I believe that's Plante taking the face-off.
Yes, I think you should get some chances here, all right.
Dickson on the right point to Martin on the left point. His shot, and that's picked off by Freeman, and your goaltenders are sure hot with the glove hand.
Good glove, yeah.
And
there's that one all the way.
There's nothing a 12 or 13-year-old goalie likes doing better than making the big glove save.
That's right.
a la Grant Fuhr on that one. As Kariya makes a nice play, as North Vancouver wins another clean draw. Dickson decides to go the other side with it. I've been telling them to do that in practice, so it's good to see it happen. Dickson just behind the blue line, ahead to Phillips as they try and take advantage of a two-man advantage here. Nothing's happening as the puck goes high in front of the North Vancouver bench, which is directly below us. Our broadcast location is directly behind the players' bench. But unfortunately, I can't send the lines out I want from here. As Phillips goes down the right side, and holds in the corner to Kariya out in front of the net as North Vancouver tries to set up. Dickson lets a slap shot go, but it's deflected, and that one's going to go up into the seats. With only 18 seconds left in the North Vancouver two-man advantage, Richmond did a pretty good job killing that penalty.
So far, so good, but it looks like you've got your big gun out there right now, so he can become very effective if he's given a lot of ice, and with two men in the box, I think he'll be handling the puck quite a bit on this for the next 18 seconds anyways.
Well, we're talking, of course, of centerman Garth Prouse, also the captain of North Vancouver. An extremely mature young man, actually, and he's always hustling. And he's one of those rare PeeWee AAA players who really has almost a midget or junior attitude. As he has the puck here, rips it wide. Greg Moore on the left point with the puck. He keeps it in, doing a nice job. His play is improving every week. This puck comes across. Sickavish there. Big first-year player gets it to Stewart. He sends it right out in front to Prouse, who makes a nice move. Prouse showing how difficult a target he is to hit.
Well, so far nothing has gone in on the two-man disadvantage there, and you get, what, 32 seconds left in the second penalty. We just might get out of this one.
Just over 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the second period. 32 seconds to go in the North Vancouver man advantage. As Richmond has already successfully killed off a minute and a half of the two-man advantage. And it'll be a big kill for them as Mark Stewart seems to be favoring his throat as he comes to the North Vancouver bench. 15 seconds to go in the power play as North Vancouver tries to get a final opportunity. Prouse behind the net. He'll try and set something up. You can count on that. Richmond playing the box extremely well, cutting off the passing lanes. It's obvious Nagata's been working on that. And again, coming across from the other side, a good solid check. And I think he's going to get a penalty for that one. That looks like Roddy Armstrong, and I've got to question that call.
Yeah.
You give a two-man advantage and then you call something like that. That was actually an excellent play as he came out of his position on the left side of the box to cut off the passing lane. Super job, actually. And he made a little bit of contact, and they've called it.
Once again, interpretation and the abilities of the referees to determine is an infraction is a problem. And again, you know, that's another reason for this. These new laws and restrictions being put into the game right now are making a drastic change in it. And I'm not quite sure if it's for the good at all.
And these people who are making the changes are constantly telling the referees, call everything, don't allow injuries out there. So the referees have a lot of pressure to enforce these rules.
That's right.
And a nice steal there by one of the Richmond players. He had some open ice, but elected to clear it down. Moore goes back for it there. A minute and 30 seconds to go in the second period, 2-1. North Vancouver on another power play. Graham Smith trying to carry the puck in over the line. He's stopped, and Richmond clears it out. As they continue to battle for it. Prouse goes back after it. Minute and 15 to go in the penalty as North Vancouver comes to center. Graham Smith let it go through his skates there, and it's cleared down. If there's one complaint I have about my team at times, it's their intensity and concentration. And you can see right now they're just sort of fighting it, trying to get something going on the power play. Richmond doing a super job, and they're going to come away with a scoring opportunity.
Good job by Mike there.
Well, it is an exhibition game, and Coach Ted Nagata is getting a lot of work working his penalty-killing unit anyway, as Tleske goes behind the net. There's one thing I'd say about some of the referees is the way, it's not so much the job that they do, it's sometimes it's so unbalanced, the way they call it. And that's one thing I sometimes have a problem with. For example, in this game, who knows if he'll even up in the third, but
I think we have that problem in the pros also.
good opportunity there. Oh, it goes right across the goal
line.
North Vancouver always had a chance with only 15 seconds to go to make it 3-1 as time runs down in this second period. As the puck is just dumps outside the line with 3 seconds to go, and that will kill what's left of the second period. With the score after 2 periods here at North Vancouver Recreation Center, it's the North Vancouver Taylor Motive 2, the Richmond Boxmaster 1. We'll be back with third period action on Shaw Cable after this. Welcome back to North Vancouver Recreation Center. We're bringing you PeeWee AAA hockey on Shaw Cable between the North Vancouver Taylor Motive and the Richmond Boxmaster. And there you see the score as we are about to enter into the third period of play. And just like the last time these two teams played about 2.5 weeks ago, it's close and tight. It makes for an exciting third period of hockey. Has your team committed at all, Tim, to any tournaments coming up in the Christmas or in the spring? Or?
We've actually trying to get into 2 or 3. There is one, I believe, in North or South Delta that we've registered in, and we've also tried to get into the Vernon tournament in February. But many of these tournaments do not like to commit, and therefore a lot of teams are left wondering, are we playing and when? And if not, what other tournaments are to play in? So it's sort of a cat and mouse game right now, and I'm not quite sure how this is put together, but certainly I think there's a better format that might be used.
Well, your team has done the identical thing that we've done. We have applied for the North Delta tournament, and we're seeking information on the Vernon tournament, which is one of the best in the province. It's a Christmas or winter festival tournament.
Yeah, we played in that one last year.
Costs a lot of money, and the competition is good, but it's an excellent tournament. But it's not exactly the greatest time to go driving up to the interior.
February, isn't it, I think?
Yes, it's in February. Well, there are lots of excellent tournaments around the Lower Mainland at Christmas time and during the spring. So if you want to get out and watch good minor hockey, one game after another, check at your local community center and see what tournament they're offering. Most associations have at least one tournament over the Christmas, and they sponsor one of the leagues. Here at North Vancouver, we have a Bantam tournament, and at Richmond, what Christmas tournament do you host at Richmond?
Actually, Bruce, I'm not quite sure. Certainly is would be a midget tournament, I believe.
I believe it's a midget as well. There's a good save by Freeman to get a whistle with 14:24 to go in the third period. 2-1 score.
We have a philosophy Ted Nagata follows is a very, very short shifting, 30 seconds. He's been using that.
I've been working on that myself with a 45-second barrier, but a lot of the problem is that when some of these guys will take their 1.5 minute, 2-minute shifts, and you've either got to bench them to teach them, or you've got to sort of abandon trying to go with a very, very strict 30 or 40-second system. But what Nagata's doing is exactly right. These kids have to learn 45 seconds or 50 seconds is long enough out there, and they should be huffing and puffing when they come to the bench. Garth Prouse in the corner. He's battling along the boards. One of the Richmond defenders, Haraguchi, pressure him as Prouse spins and stick handles, still going after the puck. Tenacious forechecking by Prouse. He's got 3 Richmond players on him as North Vancouver is trying to kill the Richmond power play, and they're doing it extremely well. As we were gabbering about various things, we missed a call. North Vancouver has 1 minute and 25 seconds left in one of their penalties. Their first penalty of the game, I believe, or their second penalty of the game. Lidner got a penalty early.
Seemed to me that you had the pressure on there rather than the other way around. Again, showing Garth's valuableness to the team.
Well, so far, neither of the power plays looking too great. As the face-off will be to the right of Greg Freeman in the nets for Richmond Boxmaster. Tleske to face off with Plante. Plante wins the draw, gets it over to the boards. Dwane sends it up the right side. Morishita dumps it to center. Tleske takes over there. He's got 1 goal today for North Van. Tleske, he's going to be content to run some time off the clock and does a good job there. As Richmond having trouble getting out of their zone on this power play.
Little inexperience there, not realizing what they should be doing. Allowing a forward like that to freeze a puck in your own end is, again, showing a little bit of inexperience and not knowing that that's definitely a no-no.
Well, special teams is where inexperience often really shows up. Guys just from the Adam Divitt level haven't got a lot of, I don't know whether it's coaching or what it is, but don't have too great an idea of what they should be doing on special teams, and we've had to start from scratch for the most part. As the puck is dumped in the corner, Williams goes up the right side, trying to get it to Kariya. As now Richmond starts to apply some pressure. They got a good chance here, a shot, and Freeman stops that. And the 2 Freemans providing some good goaltending.
I think that was Gavin, I think, that had a bad angle there, and he didn't see the slot. Perhaps the slot was the place the puck should have gone there, but there's room for improvement everywhere.
43 seconds to go in the Richmond power play. They trail by a goal with just over 13 minutes to go in the 3rd period. As Scott Sherwood is going to face off against Kelly Sickavish as North Vancouver centerman is waved out of the circle. Richmond manages to gain the control of the puck. They try and get something going on this power play. The puck is on the right side to Kennedy. Sends it back on the point to Gilfillian. And this shot at the net, good low shot. And that's what you got to do, send it at the net. Paid off there. Let's see if he does it again. Gilfillian once again, he sends a high drifter towards the goal. Lots of Richmond players parked out in front, but they can't get their stick on it, and Sickavish dumps it out to center. And it's called on a 2-line pass. And Sean Craig threw the puck up.
Well, they used the point a little bit there, and almost resulted in something happening. A little bit of a scramble around the front of the net.
Well, the low shots are the most effective ones, but I've been doing a number of junior games for Rogers Cable, and those guys still haven't learned at times to keep the puck along the ice from the point, so you can certainly expect Peewees to make the same mistake. As they come up the left side, it's Ishida as Richmond trying to get back in this hockey game. They're only a goal back, and it's been a very balanced game, so any team can win at this point. Scott Dickson picking up some speed. Excellent skater, takes the puck down the right side. McClelland is there to take him off the puck, and the Richmond defense has been doing a good job with some of the faster North Vancouver forwards and steering them off the corner. Dickson will pick up the puck at the blue line. He tries to carry it in, but again, McClelland standing up at that blue line. He's really impressed me on the Richmond defense. He comes out and challenges that puck carrier. Here's Matt Dwane. He takes the puck in on the right side. He's got a good shot. He's shown it once before. He's tripped off the puck by Lidner. No call. Puck comes back to the line. Dwane has it once again. He's going to let it go. And he scores. He certainly does.
Wow.
I lost sight of it. And so did Chad Freeman, obviously, as it goes over his shoulder into the net. And Matt Dwane, the captain, has evened this game up at 2.
Well, I know exactly what his coach is telling him. When you've got a shot, use it. Because he's been on the boys to shoot. It's amazing how they don't go in if you don't let it go. That's the 3rd one, Bruce. Again, very, very similar.
Well, Nagata seems to really have good control over that bench. He's got all his kids sitting down, and I think I've just learned a lesson from Ted Nagata, and I might just employ that on my team after today's game. You never stop learning as a coach either, and that's a good thing to employ. It allows the coach to talk to his players as they come off the ice, looking at them face to face instead of talking at them from behind all the time. As it's a 2-2 tie with just over 10 minutes to go. As they battle along the end boards, referee lost sight of the puck, and there'll be a face-off to the right of Greg Freeman in the Richmond zone.
Well, if there's one thing that Ted does have on the team, and that is discipline. He doesn't play favorites, and he's got some very distinct rules on the club and what will happen if you don't live by them. If you're not there ready to play 15 minutes before the game, you'll sit out a period. No practice, no play also. Unless it's a good reason and you've phoned the coaches and let them know.
Well, I employed that rule as well. My phone's ringing off the hook. Puck comes down the right side. It's Prouse. He's got a good opportunity, and he just didn't get the wood on it, but Stewart will have a chance, and Freeman does a tremendous job stopping 3 shots. Wow. And I think the North Vancouver players are a little disappointed they didn't get a little more wood on it, but you got to hand it to Freeman, standing up and doing a good job in the Richmond goal. His goaltending has been pretty strong at both ends, particularly in the Richmond goal tonight. Kariya did a super job in his half of the game as well. And Freeman hasn't allowed a single goal in the Richmond net yet. As the face-off is to the right of him, Tleske facing off against Plant. They battle for it in the circle. Kariya picks it up. Kariya going to the net. Going around the behind him. Centers it for Tleske. Just couldn't get his stick on it. Dimitri pinches from the point.
There's Roddy.
And Roddy Armstrong goes down the right side. Still struggling to get to know some of these Richmond names. It's Plant and Armstrong battling along the end boards. Tleske comes away with it, sends it up the side, or right side to Graham Smith. Back to Tleske. He's coming to center. Back checking hard is Ashita. Kariya goes to the net with it, and Tleske heading to the net as well, and the referee lost sight of the puck once again.
A little bit of a quick whistle there, Bruce.
Calls a face-off. Tleske doing a good job going to the net. Rob Tleske is one of those players from the North Shore Winter Club. He has played PeeWee AAA, played last year.
There's a little Scotty Morishita out there. He's probably got to be one of the smallest Peewees I think I've seen.
He is the right winger out there for Ted Nagata.
Good little skater, though.
These small players are very effective in those wide open games. Tough, hard-hitting ones, they have problems. Puck comes down the right side. Haraguchi just dumps the puck in the corner as both teams try and get the go-ahead goal with just over 9 minutes to go. Freeman comes out to play the puck. Dickson picks it up there. Lidner dumps it off the boards and out. Sent right back in by Richmond, but it goes hard off the skate of one of the Richmond players as he hobbles to the bench in obvious pain. Dimitri waits for his mates to get on side, dumps the puck back in, doesn't get much on it. Richmond's able to quickly counterattack. Brent Williams takes over there, goes the other side with it to Dickson. He's taken off the puck nicely by Morishita.
There's Scotty. He's doing has a good shift going on out there.
2 Scotties colliding. Dickson getting the worst of it. As Tim and I will try and select the most valuable player from each team, and we'll try and see if those players have enough guts to give a little post-game interview. And if they do, we'll bring that to you right after the game.
I'm sure they'd be thrilled to do it.
Well, when I mentioned it to my players, they were wondering if there was a second-string player that could go in if they didn't want to, so we'll have to see. As the puck goes behind the net, Chris Gill filling in with the puck. Up the right side to Plant. He's been solid all game, and he goes up the right side with it, exercising that size and power once again, going by 2 North Vancouver players and centering it right out in front, and J.J. Martin deflected it.
Gosh, that was close. He just about put it in behind your goalie. Some good forechecking and some good pressure by Daniel there.
Well, we've been having a lot of deflection drills in practice over the last week. I think JJ got the wrong idea. He's got to do that in front of the other net, but nonetheless, he gets out of the way with that, no problem. JJ Martin, one of the players that participated in the Super Series over the summer. He's a first-year player, but plays like a second year. He's got great attitude, great size, great speed. He's going to be a great hockey player in the years to come. His father manages the team. Craig Moore going down the right side, trying to get it to Martin. He's going to have to do some checking. Sickavish comes away with it. He tries to dump the puck outside the line, but can't. Puck goes around the end boards. Garth Prouse gets it there. Starts up with it. Prouse has got good speed if he can get it going, but he just lost control of the puck. as Richmond comes back away with it. Taken off the puck by the North Van defense, and Sickavish starts ahead to Prouse. Prouse trying to go through the Richmond defender, but good checking by Maurer stops that play as they battle along the boards in front of the players' bench. Prouse comes away with it. He's got Mark Stewart on his wing. Tripped up at the line, but Stewart tries to go through defenseman Gilfillian. That was ill-advised, and he stopped it. Sheeta on the boards, trying to go up with it. Good possibility for a 2-on-1 for Richmond. They just couldn't get his stick on it as there's more activity in front of the players' benches as teams make a change. There was an inexperienced play by Craig, trying to go up the middle with it, and it's picked off by North Vancouver. And they couldn't take advantage of it, and they're caught 3 deep, and away comes Richmond, 3-on-2. Sherwood goes the left side to Kennedy. He's got Maurer on the other wing, but it's broken up by North Vancouver defense. It goes off Tleske's leg, causing a problem at the line. Sickavish blocks the shot by McClellan and comes to center and dumps it in. North Vancouver makes a change on defense while Richmond sets up the breakout. Maurer trying to get control of the puck. Williams comes over to make a play on it. Brent Williams dumping the puck in. He's a player that's been developing more and more every day as well. He came from PeeWee House League, if you can believe it. I can't. I don't understand how some of these guys get unnoticed by rep coaches, but he's a real solid player on the blue line for us. Dan Roots, left side to Graham Smith. Sends it through the middle to Tleske. Rob Tleske going to the net. He's dangerous, and he just about puts it in. Tries to center it to Cole Maurer. He couldn't get his stick on it as Maurer and Tleske forecheck. Maurer comes away with it, centers it. A good pass by Cole Maurer. Graham Smith jamming away at it, and North Vancouver getting some good pressure from the line of Tleske, Maurer, and Smith. As Nagata makes a change. And North Vancouver will
5 minutes left.
5:48 to be exact. 2-2 tie, third period. Richmond Boxmaster 2, North Van Taylor Motive 2. As Richmond wins another face-off, send it around the right side. Plant will go after it there. He beats Williams to the puck and dumps it to center. Roots will have to be quick to get to it. He does. Graham Smith couldn't come away, and here comes Plant. Big, strong player takes the puck just inside the high slot, tries to get away with it. Freeman. Dangerous play, flicking it out the top of the slot, but no one was there, and Maurer will dump it in. Graham Smith going in after it. Williams pinches, gets caught, and away they come. Campbell to center. He's one-on-one. Demichi backing up, and he takes advantage by shooting, but it's blocked by Dan Demichi. Puck comes back to the point to Gilfillian. He tries to send a low shot. It's blocked by Kariya. Graham Smith battling it along the end boards. North Vancouver finally gets it out, and Steve Kariya has it as the Taylor Motive North Vancouver squad will make a change. Kariya comes down the right side by himself. Lidner picks it up. Tries to go to the net with it. Prouse makes a steal in front of the net. Lidner goes back after it in the corner. Ryan Lidner. To Garth Prouse. Prouse looking for a pass out in front. He's got Lidner. He shoots. And Ryan Lidner, who's always dangerous in front of the net, a great goal scorer. And another player from House League.
A lot of pressure right now.
Kariya.
A lot of pressure.
Shoots. Another shot. Is this line getting a lot of damage? 3 good offensive hockey players out there for North Vancouver in Kariya, Prouse, and Lidner.
Again, that case of having some extremely good players on the ice when perhaps players were not quite up to the same level as as Garth. Again, he controlled the play, and it was pretty scary there for a bit.
Coaching can be extremely difficult at this level sometimes because you've really got to watch for line matchups, probably more so than even in the pro ranks where there's more balance. In this league, you've really got to watch when the big guns are out there because you can't expect a first-year PeeWee or something to cover a real offensive superstar who's had 2 years in the league. As they battle along the end board, Sherwood comes away with it. As momentum has shifted once again, this time North Vancouver has the momentum, but looks like Richmond's going to try and take it away right now as they come in 3-on-2. Sherwood with an opportunity shoots, and Freeman makes a save. And Richmond had a good chance with only 3:52 to take the lead. And there's, of course, no overtime. So a tie is a tie, and will go in the books as such if neither team can break this tie with 4 minutes to go.
Well, this one's going right down to the wire, Bruce. 3 minutes.
Any idea on the most valuable player side? Maybe what we should do is you should choose the most valuable player from our team, and I'll choose it from yours. How's that sound?
Sounds like a good deal. I've already got somebody in mind from North Van. I don't think it'll be any surprise to anybody.
As Dickson comes away with it to
2-on-1.
Prouse. Back to Dickson, but that's going to be an offside, and that was nicely played. I believe that is Sean Craig on
That's
defense.
Sean that came through with a nice defensive effort there, and because he was definitely in trouble with 2-on-1.
And arguably two of the best players on the North Vancouver team. So Sean Craig doing a nice job in breaking that up. As Prouse, Lidner, and Dickson line up with Roots and J.J. Martin, and I have to admit this is a power line, if there is such a thing out there, for North Vancouver. Let's see if they can get a result from it. There's Dickson. He tries to give it to Lidner, but he just overskated it. That's on Ryan-like, because he usually gets a stick on everything. As now Richmond comes to center. He's knocked down by Prouse from behind. As Dickson tries to get control of it up the boards. Dangerous play at the line for Richmond, but they managed to get it out as they're having trouble slowing this North Vancouver line down, although they're not getting any serious opportunities. J.J. Martin with the puck. He dumps the puck in. North Vancouver not forechecking too hard after the puck, giving Richmond time to wheel away, but Dickson steals it to Lidner. Back to Dickson. Tries to center it out in front to Prouse. Dickson hanging on to the puck. He's being taken off it there by the Richmond defense. They do a nice job of clearing up the right side, and Plante just clears it to center wisely. J.J. Martin couldn't get a stick on the puck, and he leaves it there for Morishita. Just carries it in over the line. He's checked from behind by Dickson, who might try and take advantage of a Richmond line change. Sends it up to Prouse. This could be a dangerous play. Prouse, he tries to go through, and again, Tim, an example of a player not taking a shot. Martin going to the left side with it. He'll take a shot, and that just goes wide. Prouse might have been better served shooting that puck, trying to make a move, but don't want to get him down on him too much. Did a good job to get in the open there. Puck comes back to the point. Here's a dangerous opportunity for Armstrong. He sends it at the net. There's a couple of good opportunities for Richmond. Just over 2 minutes to go. We're pretty much in a next goal win situation. As Richmond now applying some pressure as the lines are changed up slightly. Some of these North Vancouver players have been out there a long time and they'll be well advised to make a change. Prouse knows it. He just slaps it. Dickson makes a steal at the line to Phillips, but it's offside.
There's perhaps a matchup that went on there with the Garth being on the ice, and I think Ted Nagata had our best players on. And then I thought that perhaps maybe North Van's line stayed on a little bit too long there, and you saw what happened. It was almost a goal because even your best player was getting tired out there.
That's exactly it. It's something that we're going to have to rectify at some point. But I have taken a little lesson from Ted Nagata's book of coaching. Perhaps we'll shorten the shifts up and get him sitting down on that bench. Let's see if we can't shape these guys up a little bit. As Dmichi makes a steal along the end boards, trying to get it to Sickavish at center. He can't get away with it as Sherwood applies some good forechecking deep in the North Vancouver zone. They send it up the wing. It's kept in by Gilfillian, dumps it back into Sherwood. Battling with it with Dmichi. North Vancouver Williams managed to get control of the puck. Dmichi sends it up the wing to Sickavish. This comes outside the line, but Richmond's Gilfillian will send it right back in. As Richmond applying some good forechecking. Here's Haraguchi going to the net, trying to center it. Can't do it, does there, and Plante gets a good chance. Another chance for Sherwood, and an excellent block by Dan Dmichi on the North Vancouver defense. He stuck his body in front of that one. Good play. Good pressure by Richmond as North Vancouver just trying to relieve it. Sickavish panicking a little bit, dumping a puck towards the goal. They'll go in and forecheck some more. 42 seconds to go in the game. And there's going to be a penalty against North Vancouver for tripping. As Plante draws a penalty, and with only 37 seconds left, Richmond's going to get a chance.
I don't know about that penalty, Bruce. I thought it was a little bit similar to the one in the first period, where I thought Daniel sort of did a little bit of a flying act there to draw the attention of the official.
Well, that penalty could have a huge impact on this game if Richmond can mount some quick quick pressure here. They only have 37 seconds left, but they will have a man advantage.
I caution Richmond here to be careful because, again, you have Garth out there, and if we're too offensive, he certainly can take it on a shorthanded situation and do something with it.
Players with that much speed can beat one or two guys back on defense, but here's a good opportunity for Plante. Richmond is in the driver's seat with this power play, and Campbell has the puck behind the net with only 16 seconds to go. Back to the point. Long shot by McClelland, and Freeman, who was down a little early, holds the puck out. And as in the first game, the goaltending has been pretty solid.
Too bad he couldn't get a little more wood on that one. That was kind of a weak shot.
Well, that was one of those instances where the goalie went down early, and maybe a high shot might have been better served.
Exactly.
There's a puck, face-off deep in the zone to the right of Freeman.
12 seconds.
Only 10 seconds to go. Stewart gets the puck, gets it outside the line. Tleske has an opportunity with only 5 seconds to go. If he can get a shot away. Oh, and he's dumped from behind, and that's going to end the game. And maybe it's a fitting way to end the game with a tie, as we don't need any extracurricular activity after the game. And players would be best served just to go back. Good, clean hockey game.
Well, 2-2, I think that pretty well, it was fairly close, Bruce. Perhaps maybe a few more chances for your team, but definitely could have gone either way. There were scoring chances at each end that the goalies came up on.
Well, the final score, North Vancouver Taylor Motive 2, Richmond Boxmaster 2. And any idea who you'd name as North Vancouver's most valuable player?
I definitely have to pick Garth. I think he's a fine hockey player. He was noticed at all times out there. The only thing perhaps maybe that he can improve on is know when to take himself off a little sooner. But aside from that, he was a force out there. I picked number 10. Garth Prouse.
Well, it was a toss-up for me on the Richmond side. I thought number 11, Scotty Sherwood, played a good game, and I thought your son, Matt Dwane, played a good game. But I think I'm going to go with Scotty Sherwood just because of pure effort. He's one of those players that maybe doesn't have the skill of Matt, but he really worked hard out there. Got a lot of ice time, and hustle's what I like to see. So I thought I saw a lot of it from Scotty Sherwood tonight, and I'm going to name him the Richmond's most valuable player.
Yeah, Scotty certainly hustled tonight. That was a good choice.
So we'll be right back, hopefully with some post-game interviews if we've got some brave Peewees. With the final score, the Richmond Boxmaster 2, the North Vancouver Taylor Motive 2. We'll be back with more interviews and post-game stuff after this. Well, welcome back to North Vancouver Recreation Center, everyone. The final score in today's PeeWee AAA contest was the Richmond Boxmaster 2 and North Vancouver Taylor Motive 2. I have the two most valuable players with me today, and it's no surprise that both these players played in the Super Series over the summer. And I thought I'd ask both of them their thoughts on that. Scotty Sherwood, from the Richmond side of things, you played in the Super Series. What did you think of that experience?
Oh, it was fun. We lost in the first round of the playoffs, but we had a few great players that held us there, and I had fun.
How about you, Garth?
It was pretty fun. Some good competition from like Eastern provinces and stuff. And we lost in the finals to Toronto.
Did you guys play together on that team?
No.
No. What your impressions on your coach, Ted Nagata? I know that he seems to have a really disciplined style. All you guys are sitting on the bench and very disciplined out there. How have you responded to Coach Nagata?
Well, he's a very good coach. He's disciplined, sure, but the reason we sit on the bench is we get tired, and he just tells us to sit on the bench. If we stand up, we get more tired, and it's not really ready.
Garth, captain of the team, playing really well out there, strong skater. What are your impressions so far of how you've played this season?
Well, I think I've been playing pretty good, skating hard, but we could dump the puck in more and pass a bit more.
Hey, there's his coaching for him, eh? Scott, I'll go back to you. One last thing. It looks like that both of our teams, Richmond and North Vancouver, are going to be in Tier 2. I don't want to go out on a limb and say that, but it looks like we will be. How will you guys respond to that? Were you guys hoping to make Tier 1?
Yeah, we were, but we just lost 2 key games, and that's what put us in Tier 2. We tried our best, but we could have gone Tier 1, but I guess we're stuck in Tier 2.
And it looks like we're in the same boat, Garth. Obviously, we wanted to do the same thing. For you, it might be a little bit easier out there in Tier 2, though.
It might be score a few more goals, but it's better to be in Tier 1, more competition.
Well, that's the most valuable players from the game with Richmond, Scott Sherwood, and on the North Vancouver side, Garth Prouse. Once again, the final score from North Van Rec Center, Richmond Boxmaster 2, North Vancouver Taylor Motive 2. For Tim Dwane, I'm Bruce Shepard. Thanks for joining us with North Van Minor Hockey on Shaw Cable.